This is 5 in 10 from Skywatch TV, 5 topics in about 10 minutes for Thursday, January 11th, 2024. I'm Derek Gilbert. Please subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. It's at 5 in 10. It's where you'll find our channel. Click the bell for notifications, and then please guarantee we never get canceled. I'll tell you how to do that before the end of the program. Topic number 5 today, wars and rumors thereof. Iran has seized an oil tanker filled with Iraqi crude that was headed for Turkey on Thursday. This is in retaliation for the U.S. seizing the same ship last year. This is likely to fuel regional tensions. In other words, the war between Israel and Hamas may escalate, something we've been watching for, ever since October 7th. The seizure of the ship, the Marshall Islands flagged St. Nicholas, coincides with weeks of attacks by Iran's allies in Yemen on shipping through the Red Sea. St. Nicholas was seized a year ago in a sanctions enforcement operation. The ship was under a different name then. It was called the Suez Rajan. Following the move, Iran said it would not go unanswered. The ship, at last report, now sailing for an Iranian port. Meanwhile, the U.S. Navy shot down some 24 missiles and drones in a Red Sea incident, this according to U.S. Central Command. Given that this included some 21 missiles and drones launched from Yemen, it is being reported by Associated Press as the largest ever barrage of drones and missiles targeting shipping in the Red Sea, and it's why most major carriers are now routing ships around the southern tip of Africa. Again, 10 to 12% of global trade sails through the Red Sea and through the Suez Canal. And this is going to affect prices on especially energy products, but a lot of other things as well, coming from Asia to Europe and North America. Topic number 4, pot, meat, kettle. South Africa has accused Israel of committing genocide against Palestinian Arabs in Gaza, pleading with the United Nations top court, the International Court of Justice, to order an immediate halt to Israel's military operation. Israel has denied the allegations. Now look, genocide is when you're trying to wipe out everybody in a certain area. That's not what Israel is trying to do, and it's difficult to avoid, civilian casualties when Hamas is hiding in civilian areas and using civilians as human shields. Well, anyway, during the court case, the presentation of the case, South African lawyers said the Gaza war is part of a decades-long oppression of Palestinian Arabs by Israel. The 2-day hearing is the public side of this case, the most significant to be heard in an international court. At least that's how it's being portrayed in the corporate media. South Africa wants binding preliminary orders to compel Israel to stop the military action. That's just not going to happen. But the irony here, the reason South Africa is bringing this case is twofold. Number one, as part of BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. It throws a wrench into Middle Eastern politics by inconveniencing America's main ally in the Middle East, Israel, and then also throws sand in the gears here of the United States. But secondly, South Africa can claim moral high ground. We know what apartheid is like. We have transcended it, and now we demand Israel do the same. What South Africa had going on during apartheid is not what Israel is engaging in, but this is also very hypocritical considering that the way the white farmers of South Africa are now being targeted for retribution by the South African government. So again, hypocrisy knows no bounds in the world of politics. Speaking of, topic number 3, Hunter Biden made a surprise appearance at his contempt of Congress hearing yesterday. He defied a subpoena last month. You remember we talked about that. He showed up at Capitol Hill, but instead of going into the hearing and testifying, he gave a press conference outside, basically grandstanding. Well, it's kind of what he did in Congress Wednesday. Representative Nancy Mace won quote of the day honors by asking, who bribed Hunter Biden to be here? Ouch. The Oversight and Judiciary Committee is moving to hold Hunter Biden in contempt of Congress after he skipped out on a closed-door hearing last month. Instead, as we said, Hunter held an impromptu hearing, taking his case to the court of public opinion. Aside from the clown show Wednesday, on Tuesday, House Oversight Committee Chairman James Comer noted that the vast majority of Hunter Biden's so-called artwork has been purchased by wealthy donors to the Democratic Party. Hunter Biden's friend and financial benefactor Kevin Morris, who's seated to Hunter's right in that photo there, reportedly purchased $875,000 worth of his art last January. $875,000 worth of art Morris has been identified as the third-party donor who paid off Hunter Biden's $2 million in back taxes in early 2020. Again, this is all theater. Don't get too caught up in this. Christians, remember, we still have a job to do. Make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Topic number 2, the polar vortex, being described by some observers as gobsmackingly bananas. It's going to hit North America this coming weekend with sub-freezing wind chills and temperatures reaching as far south as, well, the southern border of these United States. And that is leading to some questions in the state of Texas, where they remember 3 years ago some negative consequences from the polar vortex. The Electric Reliability Council of Texas, which is the power grid operator there, predicts peak energy demand Monday, the coldest day forecast next week, of 80 gigawatts. Now, the previous all-time record for a single day in January for ERCOT is less than 66 gigawatts. 80 gigawatts is more than 66. And while EPCOT tells its customers grid conditions are expected to be normal, and ERCOT expects to have sufficient supply to meet demand. Well, the question, of course, is whether there is enough excess supply to meet demand, especially if the cold weather is accompanied by low wind speeds, because the turbines don't turn when the wind's not blowing. And customers are just a little bit skeptical, remembering 3 years ago when very cold conditions led to widespread power outages, which can be deadly in this kind of cold weather. If you can prepare, please do. Coming up, you might be privileged if... We'll finish that sentence next on 5 and 10.
Jonathan Cahn is back with his most explosive book ever, The Josiah Manifesto. This stunning book exposes whether or not a 3,000-year-old calendar of appointed days provides the secret to the most dynamic year of our lives. Even ordaining a plague, a national lockdown, days of fire, and the changing of the Supreme Court. Secret information regarding an anonymous prayer and a mysterious template that may lie behind the event that overtook Capitol Hill and shook the nation. And the mysterious ancient king that may have revealed the secret behind a modern American president, and so much more. Also included in this must-have collection, The Gods of the Bible Unveiled on DVD, where Derek Gilbert systematically breaks down how to understand what the gods in the Bible are and what their place in Christianity actually is. In this instructional guide, you'll be taken step by step through why God calls his sons gods in the Psalms, how the fall in Genesis was only one of 3 divine rebellions, and how the Greek gods and titans found their origin in our Bibles. But that's not all. In this amazing offer, you'll also receive the Jonathan Cahn Collection, featuring 3 uncut, extended, and too hot for TV episodes on the return of the gods that will leave you speechless. This DVD also includes 3 additional episodes of Jonathan's best interviews with the Skywatch TV investigative team. Sold separately, these items hold a retail value of over $75. Yours now for your donation of only $35 plus shipping and handling. But right now, you can upgrade your master collection to include the absolutely astonishing Josiah Manifesto Uncensored 8-DVD album featuring hours of additional totally uncensored raw materials and mysteries that are not included in the book or anywhere else but right here, including the Island of Mystery, the Winds of Hinnom, Jehu and the Temple of Baal, the Jubilee and Redemption and the Child of the Nile, and the Manifesto Part 1 and 2 and the very last mystery. This special upgrade includes all of the items from the Josiah Manifesto Master Collection and the exclusive uncensored 8-DVD album, which altogether holds a retail value of $200. Yours now for your donation of only $74.99 plus shipping and handling. So be prepared to understand the end times like never before as you dive into the Josiah Manifesto Master Collection or the Master Collection with upgrade uncensored 8-DVD album. So order now at skywatchtvstore.com or call 1-844-750-4985 and ask for the Josiah Manifesto Master Collection.
Item number one today, Jeff Foxworthy really needs to update his routine. You know, you might be a redneck. You might be privileged if, because the jokes practically write themselves. This is an actual email from the chief diversity officer at Johns Hopkins University, where the fees, the tuition and fees for a single year are about $64,000, higher than the median income for a household here in these United States. The diversity word of the month, according to the chief diversity officer at Johns Hopkins, privilege. Privilege is a set of unearned benefits given to people who are in a specific social group. Privilege operates on personal, interpersonal, cultural, and institutional levels, and it provides advantages and favors to members of dominant groups at the expense of members of other groups. In the United States, privilege is granted to people who have membership in one or more of these identity groups: white people, able-bodied people, heterosexuals, cisgender people, males, Christians, middle or owning class people, in other words, if you own your own home, middle-aged people, English-speaking people. Privilege is characteristically invisible to people who have it. In other words, me as an able-bodied, white, heterosexual, cisgender Christian male who owns his own home and speaks English. Boy, I've got so much privilege. I'm glad she told me because, it is invisible to me. I would suggest, however, that if you are employed as a person of color, as a chief diversity officer at an elite private institution of higher learning, where students have to pay $64,000 per year to be indoctrinated into this, you might just be privileged. Skywatch TV this week talking with Jonathan Cahn about his groundbreaking, jaw-dropping new book, The Josiah Manifesto. Who was King Josiah in the Old Testament, and how does his life provide a blueprint, a template for surviving these turbulent times when things are completely upside down? Well, don't miss these programs. You can watch the first in the series right now at skywatchtv.com. All of our video content always at our website. You can also catch it right now on our broadcast program, the over-the-air schedule posted at skywatchtv.com/channels. If you've got Roku or Apple TV, make sure you've got the Skywatch TV channel for your set-top box. You can watch the program there right now. And of course, the best of all, because it guarantees we'll never be canceled by the gatekeepers of big tech, is downloading our free mobile app. Get it for your smartphone or tablet. Gets all of our video content for you, plus important news updates 3 times a week, a calendar of upcoming events, a Bible, multiple translations, audio Bible, no less, and much more. It's available for iOS, Android, and Amazon Kindle Fire phones and tablets. It is absolutely free, and we have links to their app stores at skywatchtv.com. Thank you for watching as we keep watch. I'm Derek Gilbert, and this is 5 in 10 from Skywatch TV.